Your brain has been lying to you about where your body is in space. And after 50, this lie gets dangerous. Here is what is really happening inside your head, and 4 science-backed ways to fix it before your next fall. Right now, 3 separate systems are working together to keep you upright. Your inner ear, your eyes, and millions of sensors in your muscles and joints. But here is what nobody tells you. After age 50, your inner ear starts sending the wrong signals. Those tiny hair cells that detect motion begin dying off at a rate of 3% every decade. And your brain does not know the difference between accurate information and noise. So it starts guessing. And sometimes it guesses wrong. That wobble you felt last week standing up from the couch was not weakness. It was your brain receiving corrupted data and making a split-second mistake. But here is where it gets fascinating. Your brain is already trying to fix this problem. It is rewiring itself right now to compensate. The question is whether that rewiring is helping you or setting you up for something worse. Let me show you exactly what is happening. Stand up right now if you can. Close your eyes. Just for 3 seconds. Feel that slight swaying? That is your vestibular system working overtime. Now here is the alarming part. When researchers at Johns Hopkins tested adults over 50, they found something stunning. 40% had measurable vestibular dysfunction and most had no idea. They had adapted so gradually that the decline felt normal. If this is already making you think differently about balance, a quick like helps more people discover this information. Your brain covers up these deficits through a remarkable process called sensory reweighting. When one system fails, others pick up the slack. Your eyes become your new balance organ. And this works brilliantly until you step into a dark room or walk on an uneven surface. Then suddenly that backup system fails too. And that is when falls happen. But here is where it gets strange. I want you to think about this for a second. Your brain is not just passively receiving balance information. It is actively predicting where your body will be a fraction of a second from now. Every step you take, every turn of your head, your brain runs a simulation before it happens. After 50, these predictions start lagging behind reality. The processing speed slows by roughly 15% per decade. So when you trip on a curb, your younger brain would have already started the recovery before you even felt the stumble. Your brain now is playing catch-up with reality. This prediction delay is why falls seem to come out of nowhere. It is not that you are clumsy. It is that your internal timing is slightly off. And nobody talks about this because it is invisible until something goes wrong. The good news is that prediction speed can be retrained. Now let me take you inside the first science-backed fix. And this one might surprise you because it has nothing to do with exercise. It is your eyes. Specifically, how you use them. Researchers in Japan discovered that people who regularly practice focused gaze training improved their balance scores by 31% in just 8 weeks. Here is how it works. Your eyes have 2 systems. Central vision for detail, and peripheral vision for motion. After 50, we unconsciously shift towards central vision because our peripheral detection declines. But peripheral vision is crucial for balance. When you walk, your peripheral field tells your brain how fast the world is moving past you. Without it, you are essentially walking with blinders on. The simple fix is deliberate peripheral awareness. While walking, consciously notice objects at the edges of your vision without turning your head. This reactivates dormant neural pathways. But here is what most people miss completely. And this is where the story takes an unexpected turn. What would you do if I told you that the second fix is something NASA developed for astronauts returning from space? After months in zero gravity, astronauts cannot walk. Their vestibular systems have essentially forgotten what down means. NASA spent decades figuring out how to rapidly restore balance function. And their solution is remarkably simple. It is called vestibular habituation training. You deliberately confuse your balance system in controlled ways so it learns to recover faster. The basic version takes 90 seconds. You sit on a firm chair and slowly turn your head left and right while focusing on a fixed point. then up and down, then diagonally. This forces your vestibular system to recalibrate against visual input. Astronauts do this daily. And here is the part that changed how I think about balance forever. The third fix sounds almost too simple to work. But the research behind it is stunning. It is single leg standing. Not for 30 seconds. Not even for a full minute. Just 10 seconds at a time, done consistently. A 20-year study following thousands of adults found that those who could not stand on one leg for 10 seconds had an 84% higher risk of death from any cause over the following decade. But here is what makes this powerful. It is not about building leg strength. It is about forcing your brain to integrate all three balance systems simultaneously under stress. When you stand on one leg, your brain cannot rely on its usual shortcuts. It must actively process vestibular input, visual data, and proprioceptive signals all at once. This integration is exactly what declines with age. And 10 seconds of challenge rebuilds it faster than an hour of walking. And this brings us to the fourth fix. The one that answers whether your brain's compensation is helping or hurting you. Remember how I said your brain rewires itself when balance declines? Here is what the research reveals. If you do nothing to challenge your balance, your brain over-relies on vision. It essentially abandons the vestibular system. And that rewiring becomes permanent. But if you deliberately practice balance in conditions where vision is reduced, your brain is forced to rehabilitate the vestibular system instead of abandoning it. This is why standing on one leg with eyes closed is more powerful than any balance board or fancy equipment. You are telling your brain that the vestibular system is still needed, that it is worth investing in. And your brain responds by strengthening those pathways instead of pruning them away. The compensation becomes restoration instead of abandonment. Now here is how to put this all together into something you can actually do. Every morning, while your coffee brews, stand on one leg for 10 seconds. Switch legs. That is fix 3. While brushing your teeth tonight, practice peripheral awareness by noticing objects at the edge of the mirror without moving your eyes. That is fix 1. Before bed, sit on your bed edge and do 30 seconds of slow head movements while focusing on a doorknob. That is the NASA fix. And twice a week, try that single leg stand with eyes closed. Start near a wall. Even 3 seconds counts. That is fix 4. Total daily time, under 3 minutes. But here is what matters most. Consistency beats intensity. Your brain responds to regular small challenges more than occasional intense workouts. 6 months from now, you could have the balance of someone a decade younger. But there is one more piece to this puzzle that researchers are only now beginning to understand. Your diet directly affects your vestibular system. Studies from the University of Miami found that people following a Mediterranean-style eating pattern had significantly better vestibular function than those eating a standard Western diet. The key nutrients appear to be omega-3 fatty acids, which reduce inflammation in the delicate inner ear structures, and foods rich in vitamin D and magnesium, which support the nerve connections between your ears and brain. Think fatty fish twice a week, leafy greens daily, and nuts for snacking. Your inner ear is listening to what you eat. And the same anti-inflammatory approach that protects your heart and brain also protects your balance. This is why blue zone populations, those areas where people routinely live past 100, report far fewer falls than their American counterparts. Now you understand what is really happening when balance wavers after 50. Your brain is not failing. It is adapting. And with these 4 science-backed strategies, you get to choose how it adapts. The peripheral vision training, the NASA vestibular exercises, the 10-second single leg challenge, and the eyes closed practice that tells your brain your balance system is worth keeping. If you found this helpful, subscribe for more research-backed strategies for thriving at any age. And drop a comment telling me which of these 4 fixes you are going to try first. Your future self will thank you for starting today.